Hey y'all, hope you guys are doing good out there. Alright, so today's video we're going to be talking about combat knives and the actual purpose of them. Alright, so just up front, please bear with me. I have a little bit of a sinus or cold thing going on, so I'm going to be sniffling a lot. But anyways, with that being said, I seen this 511 knife the other day, and it was like 20% off, and there were some other deals going on, so I decided to go ahead and pick it up. All right, so this thing is made out of a SCM435 steel. All right, made in China. Nothing too fancy. Now, is it going to withstand the test of time? You know, if you hit it up against, I don't know, aluminum pipe or something, I don't know, probably not, but it does seem tough enough. Now, I do have a little bit of an issue with it so far. Let's see if I can get in here. Yeah, like the angle on it seems a little bit off towards the tip from one side to the other. Now, that's not too much of a big deal, just maybe a little bit of a quality control issue. Anyways, other than that, I do like the design of it. It has this nice little knurling or jimping, as nothing fancy would say, in all the right places. Has a little place right here for your index finger for nice little fine work. Of course, you can go behind that little guard. It has nice little jimping everywhere in all the areas you need it. All right, so cool little knife. It's only about a 4-inch blade, so that's awesome. Now, why are we talking about combat knives today? Well, basically because, well, I seen this and figured why not. Now, when I talk about combat knives, it is not the same as a field knife. All right. With a field knife, you expect a little bit more durability out of it, you know, for chopping wood and everything like that. Now, let's be honest, when it comes to, you know, combat knives, this is not what you're going to be doing a lot on a usual basis. All right. For combat applications, what you're going to be doing mostly is cutting up all sorts of stuff like MRE boxes, ammo boxes, you know, some type of, you know, supply box type stuff, some type of packaging, cutting paracord, right, 550 cord, stuff like that. And then maybe even wedging in a little bit of stuff when it comes to, you know, maybe searching through, I don't know, some cheap wall lockers or something like that. All right, that's what I use my knives for mainly in Iraq, was, you know, wedging into stuff and then, you know, just basically cutting stuff. And of course, as a last ditch effort, let's say if someone, you know, comes around the corner and grabs your rifle, right? You know, you have it slung to you, so you shouldn't have to worry about them taking it, but you can get this and you can, you know, go to work from there. But to be honest, that is the last thing to actually kind of be concerned with. You know, it's like, hey, can you fit it on your gear? What types of tasks can you do with it? Know its limitations and all that good stuff. Because to be honest with you, the best knife to carry on you is going to be a little Gerber. I mean, to be quite honest with you, it's a lot more handy. Use this thing a lot more than I did knives, like your regular fixed blade knives. But if you're going to get one, a few considerations. Okay, placement on the gear. If I place it on here on this little battle belt, is this handle that's sticking up past this PMag with the tack vest, is it going to be jabbing into the bottom of that tack vest? Is it going to be, you know, rubbing against my fat rolls or into my ribs too much, you know? Can you put it horizontally? Sometimes if you try to put it towards the front, the handle is going to be kind of sticking out a little bit too much to where it is going to get caught up on stuff like little chain link fences if you try to ever hop over those. You know, walls, barriers, getting into the prone may be an issue. All right, so these are all things to actually consider. Now, let me show you another knife that I did take with me to Iraq. This is the Cold Steel SRK. It has a lot of use. Now, it is considerably bigger. let me pull this sucker out. And by the way, this 511 sheath is excellent for retaining this. Yeah, you don't even need like another snap retention thing. Like, it's pretty good. But anyways, with that being said, this SRK, it's seen a lot of work wedging into things. All right, like I said, little cheap drawers, dresser drawers, stuff like that, you know, that had little locks. So this got a lot of use out of it, but it was extremely cumbersome. The handle did get wrapped up in straps every once in a while. You know, I had to, you know, think of, okay, how am I going to place this on my gear? And you're going to have to do the same thing with this, but with it being just a little bit shorter, this is a lot more manageable. All right, so if you can't place it on your battle belt, I would recommend place it somewhere on your vest, maybe over your non-firing shoulder. All right, and so if you're right-handed, that means somewhere down a little bit over your left pecs area. You don't want it sticking up too far up there because it's going to get caught up on your sling. So wherever you place this, grab your slinged weapon and do, like, you know, a couple ready up drills and see if that's going to get in the way or not. But I would not necessarily go much bigger than this, just for all the reasons I mentioned before. So how tough does this thing need to be? To be honest with you, not that tough. All right, I needed to open boxes. I needed to maybe wedge in a few things. All right, because I'm not just going to be using like the very tip of it. All right, you know, can I get in something and wedge something, or, you know, can I just cut supply boxes, and can I get a good enough handle of it to where if I needed to last ditch, I can use it. All right, and like I said, that is one of the last considerations, because all these guys that try to give their little Rambo stories how they kill 20 enemy with their knife, I would highly doubt anything they would say, because that's just not how most stuff works. If you have to kill somebody with a knife, why don't you shoot them? I understand that may be, you know, a reality every once in a great while, but to be honest with you, with all the stuff I've seen, I still haven't seen a person actually use their knife to have to dispatch an enemy. But anyways, so that's just for the philosophy of use, you would say, for the combat knives. I would not recommend putting it horizontally in the back of your kit. All right, so I have this Blue Force Gear medical pouch thing. So let's say if I set my knife up back there, even though this has excellent retention, and that is awesome, if I get into a close encounter with somebody, they can just pull that a lot easier right from my waist and use it against me. So it'd almost be better not having that type of knife at all, or come up from behind. All right, so it's a little bit easier to have it on the side, or maybe directly in front of you. All right, you know, if it's up on your torso. So those are just some considerations for the realistic use. Of course, for cops, I would not recommend anything like this, and that's probably why you don't see a lot of cops wearing combat knives, just because they do get into a lot closer altercations with individuals. You know, there's a lot of wrestling on the ground. Last thing you want is somebody, you know, grabbing your own weapon, using it against you. And of course, you know, if you have it up front, if it's a little bit too long, it will stick out. It'll get caught up in them chain link fences, walls, barriers. You can't go in the prone with it all that well. You know, so these are things to think about. So hopefully you learned something today about combat knives. Like I said, I know this is not a long-term review of this knife. I'm not going to be doing any major chopping of wood or anything with it. That is not its purpose. All right, you want something like that, go with something, you know, a lot bigger, a lot thicker. But, you know, at that point in time, are you looking for like a mini machete, or are you just looking for stuff to help you, you know, with daily taskings? You know, like I said, cutting open supply boxes, and I don't know, just getting into stuff that you need to get into, and as a last ditch weapon. All right, so hopefully we put some realism. Put your thoughts in the comments below. If you had more experience with this knife, please let us know if there was any failure points in it. Every knife has its own failure points. And let me know if you got something out of this video. Alright guys, you take it easy, you be safe, love one another, and most of all, love God because He loves you. Alright, deuces.